All right, so now we're going to paint. Shortcut for the brush tool is B, but we're not going to use the brush tool. I'm going to show you why we're going to use the mixer brush tool as opposed to the brush tool. So say I have pink selected in my foreground and background, right? The shortcut to make this brush larger and smaller is the brackets. Don't be going up here and sliding it around. You do not have time for that, okay? Just use these guys. There we go, there we go. If I use the brush on the big shapes underpainting layer, it's not picking up any of the detail. It's just painting. It's lying down paint. If I turn this off, it's just, I mean, this looks nothing like Walter. And I'm not saying that we're going for photographic fidelity here and that you can't use some expressionistic stuff, but hilarious. Let's see if we can do something a little different. Underneath the brush, Roommate's mixer brush. So I'm going to go in my history and go back one and go back to where, there we go, back to where I saved it so there's no pink. With the big shape layer selected and the mixer brush selected, make sure you have that mixer brush selected, you'll see a preview of the brush. And these brushes are very close to actually painting on a canvas. The first thing you want to do is click here, which is going to tell you the brush preset. So if you click there, oh, thank you, Camtasia. Okay, if you click here, it'll bring up a lot of brushes. What you want to do for this project is pick one of the brushes with one of these little nubs, okay? These are the mixer brushes. So I stay away from the airbrushes and that stuff. I'm going to pick this one for now, this one or this one, right? And you'll see a preview of it. I suggest if you are familiar with the Wacom that you check one out, and all you need is, I believe, your ID to check one out. License?
Need your ID with saying that you're in summer.
Okay, because you can check one of these Wacoms out. And this Wacom is pressure sensitive, so, and it's also tilt sensitive, so that it makes brushing, painting a lot more fun. If you're like, hey lady, I'm just starting this, let's do this with the mouse first, I got you, okay? So this is the preview. Now, if I start painting, it's just gonna pick up that pink. So that's not what I wanna do. Here's what I wanna do. This is the trickiest thing I'm gonna teach you today. Hold down the eye, do not take your finger off the eye. Hold down the eye, click to select a color, let's click, and then let go. So you're in the mixer brush tool, and then you go into the eyedropper for a moment and come back out. So again, with the mixer brush tool selected, hold down the eye, click, let go. Now, we've got two more icons here. This one, whoa, excuse me. This one right here, you want to keep depressed because it will load the brush after each stroke, and this will also clean the brush after each stroke. I like it because it keeps the brush from getting kind of muddy. And then you've got a ton of presets. So if you're not sure what is going on, just try a preset. The dry is going to act more like a dry brush on a piece of canvas. There'll be less mixing. And the wet or very wet, there'll be more mixing. So let's try like wet, heavy mix. And you'll see that the wet, the load, the mix, and the flow change for each one of the presets. So how do you know which one to do? You just try them all, right? Because blank layers, if you paint on a blank layer and you're like, no, I don't like it, you can throw it away and make a new one. So with big shapes under painting selected, I am going to start to paint. Now, this is the key. If I do not have sample all layers selected, I am basically just laying down that brown. And notice how it is not picking up any of the photographic color or detail beneath. I'm getting a very cool effect because the brush is really cool, but it's not sampling the different colors of Walter's face. So, how far can I go? If I hit sample all layers, you'll notice then it will start, oh, we got dry, let's go to wet. It will start to blend. And I use the mouse to push and pull the paint. Okay. The underpainting, oops, I'm on the wrong layer. That's okay. That's what's going to happen to everybody, including me. Make sure you're on the right layer. Big shapes. The underpainting is just saying there's a head here, there's an ear here, there's a Kermit the Frog sweatshirt here. That's it. You're just establishing shapes. So it doesn't have to look great. I'm going to leave it wet heavy mix, and then very quickly to sample, going to block out. Any painters in the class? Okay, so this is kind of how when you start painting, you kind of block out the shape. It's a very slow tool because it's getting all of that, sampling all of that photographic information. So you might, if you see the little, you haven't done anything wrong if you see that little icon. It just means it's trying to catch up with you. And it doesn't matter if you go too far or anything like that. Because if you turn that off, you're just starting to say, hey, this is where a shirt's going to be. Okay? Shirt's going to be here. To sample the white. There's going to be white in here. And then to sample the black and brown. And then you just start to form the shapes. And that's all. But again, it is kind of a slow tool. I'm going to very quickly go and open another file here. Let me show you something real quick. I'm going to lay down, edit, fill with color. I'm going to lay down some red. I'm going to lay down, edit, fill, color, lay down some blue, and then I'm going to lay down some yellow. Edit, fill, color, oops, a different color, please. Color. How about a yellow? Perfect. Okay. So, if you have the mixer brush and it is on dry, I'm going to make a new layer. Do you notice how those colors are not mixing, right? The red, the blue, not making purple, right? Because the dry has no wetness, it has no mix. Now, if I go back up and I pick moist, heavy mix, sample all layers, I can start to push and pull those colors into each other, okay? If I go to very wet, heavy mix, the load goes up even higher, and the mix is even greater. Okay. It's also sampling the white around it. Wow, I felt like I got some applause. That's all right. So you can see that the dry. So say let's pretend this color is actually green. When it's dry, the green is laying right on top of it. When you start to experiment with the different wetnesses and the different wet, load, and mix, let's mix this a little bit. You can start to really get some nuances in that color. So first thing you do, underpainting, big shapes. This layer will not take you a long time to do. Sample, click. Oh, yeah, it's a little slow. This tool is a little intensive. So let's stop here for a second, and then we will continue.